What's going on, legends? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm bringing you guys the mission guide for tier 2 of the Redacted faction here in season 3. This one does consist of 7 total missions. Out of the first 6, you have to complete 5 of them in order to unlock the final one. Once you complete that, you unlock tier 3 of the Redacted faction. But before we dive into it, if you guys do enjoy this content at any time or find this video helpful in any way, make sure you show your support for the channel by going down below and smashing that like button. Go ahead and throw an easy goal of 150 likes on today's video, as well as if you guys like to find your way back to the channel for more Call of Duty content, make sure you just do hit that subscribe button, also that notification bell so you don't miss you in future videos. All right, so first up, we have In Good Health and Spirits. This one is going to be one part. It's asking us to revive a downed enemy with a revive pistol. Now, I believe it does have to be an enemy operator. It would be nice if they made this a little bit more clear. That's exactly what I did in order to actually do this. So the best plan of action is at the beginning of the match, you guys are able to have a revive pistol already equipped. It can be easy to run directly to the train, as you guys will probably run across multiple people, or you guys could get really lucky and try to knock somebody off the train, or at least down them. That way they fall off, and then maybe you guys will be able to actually them with the revive pistol. Now, you can also just come across any downed enemy, or you guys can come across one, maybe an AI is able to down them. You guys will just want to pull out your revive pistol, and just like anyone else you would revive, you just shoot the revive pistol at the enemy that you're trying to revive, and obviously it will pick them up. Now, in my case, I got onto the train. I managed to come across a solo. Even though we weren't solo, I did manage to down him pretty quickly. Then I chose to obviously use my revive pistol, but I did not let him get up for long. The moment he stood up, I just immediately deleted him because I had pretty good sense that he was going to delete me if I didn't do that. So you guys do want to be very careful. Even though you are reviving an enemy, unless you've already negotiated something, more than likely you're going to want to assume that if you get them back up, they're going to want to take you down. This one can tend to be a little bit challenging, but you guys are just going to want to find anyone that is down that is not a part of your squad. Try to revive them using the revive pistol by shooting it, and then you guys will get this part in mission complete. Next up, we have Smoking Gun. This one is going to be a 3-parter, and it could either require 3 keys, or you guys can go ahead and get a hold of a skeleton key, which would give you access to any of these parts. Part 1 is asking us to clear the air traffic control tower at Al Mazrah International. So you guys should be familiar with where the control tower is located. If you guys need to get a hold of a key, great way to do so is obviously to save up 30,000, go over to a buy station, hope that it is available in there, and then you guys can actually purchase that. If it's not that buy station, you guys can make your way to several buy stations in order to find it, or you guys can get lucky, eliminate other players that might be carrying these. But regardless, you guys are going to want to get a hold of this key specifically, get you guys a skeleton key. Skeleton key obviously can open any door, and it wouldn't matter which key you had at that point. So then you guys are going to go over to the air traffic control place. You guys are going to then want to clear this building out, open the door, of course, go in, eliminate all the enemies. Now, there is actually a locked room within the control tower you guys are going to want to be careful of, because there was actually an enemy hiding behind it, so I did have to try to eliminate him through the wall. But I was able to actually take him down. Once you guys actually go in, eliminate all of the enemies, and once you guys do so, you guys will know this progress is good because it will check off part 1. Now, part 2 is asking us to clear the Al Mazrah City post office. Similar to part 1, you're going to need to get access to the key or have access to the skeleton key. So you're going to, again, save up 30,000, go over to a buy station, hope that buy station has the key that you need. You guys can then purchase that key, and you guys will have it available. And you guys will go over to the downtown post office. You guys should be familiar with where this is located, as then we'll want to go in, open the door, and make sure you guys clear this of all the enemies. There's a few floors here, and on 2 separate sides of the building. You guys are going to want to make sure you go through and clear each and every one of them. You guys will know you have been successful, because you guys will get that progress checked off, and part 2 will be complete. And part 3 is just asking us to clear the U.S. Embassy. So similar to the first 2 parts, you're going to need access to the skeleton key, or you're going to need to save that 30,000, go to the buy station and get a hold of the U.S. Embassy key. Then you're going to make your way over to the embassy. Make sure you guys focus on the big building exclusively, because although the other 2 buildings are a part of the U.S. Embassy, it's not a part of this, and you don't have to eliminate any enemies in that area. You guys are just going to want to go to the big building, especially if you only have 1 use on your key. Make sure you guys open that door. You guys will go through, make sure you go to both levels, clear all of the enemies out once you're able to eliminate all of them. If this especially is your last location, you guys will know it is completed, because mission complete will pop up on your screen. All you guys have to do is go to each of these 3 locations, unlock the doors, go in, clear it of all the enemies. I don't even think you do have to be the one that unlocks it, but you definitely need to be the one that clears it. Clear all 3 of these places, and this mission will be complete. Next up, we have Reconnaissance By Fire. This one is going to be a 3-parter, and it is pretty straightforward and easy to do. Part 1 is asking us to kill 7 cartel or AQ soldiers with a cast-off 7.62 with a DF-105 reflex sight equipped. Now, the best way to go about this is you could create an insured slot with the 7.62 cast-off, and this is exactly what I did. Then you can go ahead and equip the DF-105 reflex sight, and you guys will be able to go in with that already equipped and go into the match. Once you guys spawn in, you guys will be able to go and find yourself 7 AQ soldiers or cartel, and you guys will be able to eliminate them pretty quickly. Now, I definitely recommend when you guys get in, save up about 6,000, as that's what's going to cost to change out the attachments. That's the other point of going in with the attachment already equipped. It will save you a little bit of money and obviously a little bit of time. So you guys will spawn in, you guys will go and get your 7 eliminations with the DF-105 reflex sight, and then part 1 will be complete. Now, part 2 is asking us to kill 7 cartel or AQ soldiers with a cast off 7.62 with the VLK 4.0 optic equipped. Once you guys have completed part 1, you guys will then want to go over to your buy station to go over to that workbench, and this is where you guys will be able to exchange the sight for a different one. You guys are going to be looking to put on the VLK 4.0. You guys will go in, you guys will remove the sight you already have or the optic. You guys will then replace it with that VLK 4.0. It'll cost you 3,000. You guys will put that on your weapon or your cast off 7.62 specifically. Then you guys will go and find more AI around the map. If you guys are in the right location, you guys should be able to find these pretty easy. And if you guys are struggling to find AI, you can of course go over to a stronghold and you guys will be able to find more than you need. If you guys want to get the 7 eliminations with the VLK optic on, and then part 2 will be complete. Now part 3 is asking us to kill 7 cartel or AQ soldiers with a cast off 7.62 with a Drexum Prime 90 optic equipped. So just like the first 2 parts, once you guys completed the 7 eliminations with part 2, you'll go back over to that workbench. You guys then will remove your optic, replacing it with that Drexum Prime 90 optic for the 3,000. This will put that on your cast off 7.62. You guys will then again go out and look for the 7 AI that you need. You guys will then go and find your 7 AI, eliminate them, wrap up this part, and this mission will be complete. Next up, we have Dark Water, and this one is going to be a 3-parter. Part 1 is asking us to find a rebreather. Now, this is going to be the new field upgrade for Season 3. Basically allows you to breathe more underwater or gives you a breath of air. So that way you can continue swimming for longer. It is overall a little bit of a pain to use, but you guys can find these in first aid kits, medicine cabinets, just all over the map. But I think the best way to go about looking for these is to go over to the hospital locations, which I do have a video over on the channel you guys can check out if you guys are looking for where those locations are. But you guys are just going to want to go into the houses, into the hospital locations, just all around the map, look in those first aid kits. Eventually, you guys will get your hands on the rebreather. Once you guys get access to the rebreather, part 1 will be complete. Now, part 2 is asking us to find the cartel warehouse key from the easternmost sunken ship in Al Mazrah. Now, this is going to be a ship that is hardly sticking out of the water. You guys are probably familiar with this location, and of course, I will show you on the map where this is located, so you guys don't have to wander all over looking for the actual sunken ship. Then you guys are going to head over to this location where the sunken ship is located. You guys will swim out to it, and then on the side closest to the shore, you guys will see a giant hole in the side of the boat. You guys will then want to equip your rebreather so it's already in your hand, and you guys will want to begin swimming down and into the hole. Once you guys swim into the bottom of the ship through the hole, you guys will then take the left and swim directly all the way back to the end of the ship there. You guys will see a desk where this key is going to be located on top of. If this key is not here, that means someone else beat you to the location, and you guys will have to go into another infill and look for this key again. However, you guys should be able to grab this key at the very back there, turn around, and obviously swim back the way you came, going out this time to the right, going out the hole and swimming to the surface, obviously with your key in hand. Then once you guys get the access to this key, part 2 will be complete. Now part 3 is asking us to find and extract the cartel laptop from the warehouse. Now we know the cartel is located in Hafid Port, so we're going to be making our way all the way over to there, and we're going to be looking for a small warehouse. It's kind of near where the blue ones are, but it is a much smaller warehouse, and of course I will show you guys the best I can on the map where this is located. But obviously once you guys make your way to this building specifically, you guys will know you're in the right spot because it will say it requires the cartel key. Now you guys will go over to the door, unlock it using the key that you guys swam into the boat for. Then you guys will be able to go in, and on the shelf in this location will be the Las Almas laptop, which is what you're here to acquire. Now once you guys get access to the laptop, the only thing left to do is exfil safely. So you guys are then going to want to look for rescue hostage. If that's not available, maybe you guys have the 50k for the private exfil, or you're going to make your way to your closest exfil, hope to exfil safely, and this mission will be complete. Next up, we have Flight Risk. This one is going to be a 3-parter. Part 1 is asking us to acquire special heavy chopper fuel. Now I'm pretty sure this is only on the map in 1 location per match, but it can be available in 5 different places. You might have to go to each of these locations in order to maybe get access to it. Now the first location is going to be over in Rohan Oil. This is where the train actually would stop if you're on the passenger train, but the cargo train obviously keeps moving. You guys are going to go to the train station, and inside there over at Rohan Oil, you guys in the back of the truck should see where the location for this gas can is. Now this is where I was able to find it, so I don't know exactly where it is in the other locations, but we will still go over those locations as well. The second location is going to be the Hafid Port. Same thing, it's going to be where the train would stop if it's the passenger train. You guys are going to go ahead and look inside of the little train station there right by the rails, and you guys should obviously see it if it's located in this area. Now the third possibility for the location is going to be on the cargo train itself. So if you guys are lucky enough, you spawn really close on the side of Al Mazrah City, maybe you guys can jump immediately onto the train. You guys will be able to go through the cargo train fairly quickly. You guys would be able to find this in one of the cars and then grab that and get access to it then. The fourth location could be possibly the smuggling tunnels. So if you guys are already on the train, maybe you guys are going from Rohan, I think it'll go from Rohan to smuggling tunnels, you guys can kind of just ride it over there. But this location will require a stronghold key card, so if you guys are planning to go to the smuggling tunnels, you guys will have to get access to the key card first, and you guys will be able to go in there and check for the fuel in this location. I've never actually seen the one in the smuggling tunnels, but I'm sure that it's possible that it will be in there in one of your runs. Now, the last and final place that this could actually spawn in is going to be over in the terminal. There is a hangar on each side of the control tower. It is possible that the fuel will spawn in either of these hangars. Again, this is another location I have not seen it in, but it is a possible spawn for the fuel. Once you guys are able to go to any of these 5 locations and get access to the special fuel for the heavy chopper, part 1 will be complete. Now, part 2 is just asking us to refuel the heavy chopper. Now, originally, I'd only seen the heavy chopper over in Half-Head Port, and it can be located there, but there are 2 other possible locations, one being the airport over there on the runway, and another one being up at the top of the building over in High Rise in Al Mazrah City. So there is 3 possible locations. You guys should be looking for the heavy chopper, and it will obviously spawn each and every match, but there will only be one of them. But regardless, if you guys are the one that has the fuel, more than likely you're going to be able to find this heavy chopper on the map. You're going to make your way over to it. All you're going to need to do is climb inside it, go into the cockpit like you're ready to fly it, then you're going to want to open your backpack, go over to the special fuel for the heavy chopper, then choose to refuel it, and you guys will have a full tank in the chopper. Once you guys are actually able to refuel the heavy chopper, though, part 2 will be complete. Now, part 3 is just asking us to exfiltrate using the heavy chopper. So now you guys have already gotten access to the fuel. You made your way all the way to the heavy chopper itself. Now you've managed to refuel it. Now the only thing left for you to do is actually fly this thing out of the map. Now basically, if you fly high enough or if you fly far enough out of bounds, this thing will automatically exfil, giving you that successful exfil. So you guys are just going to want to fly towards the out of bounds. That kind of just depends on which part of the map you're on, or just fly high enough, and more than likely, no matter what, you guys will have enough fuel to make this happen. As long as you're not flying around aimlessly, you guys will be able to exfil safely. So fly out of bounds, fly high enough in the sky, it will automatically kind of load you out, and you guys will obviously get that successful exfil, wrapping up this mission. Next up, we have Chaffeur. This one is going to be a 3-parter. Part 1 is asking us to infill without teammates. This is pretty straightforward. What you're going to want to do is before you infill into Al Mazrah, you're going to want to make sure that you turn squad fill off and you don't have any of your friends with you. And then you guys are going to infill into Al Mazrah. Upon loading in or infilling in and loading up, you guys will get first part complete. Now, part 2 is just asking us to purchase a personal exfil at a buy station in the same deployment. Now, if you guys haven't done this yet, they are going to cost 50,000, so you're going to want to go and complete contracts. If you're going to do a destroy supplies contract, that way when the bombs explode, it will obviously show you the locations of the nearby safes, and these can be extremely handy for coming across money and high valuable items that you could sell for money. Then you guys will be able to obviously get the money that you need. Another recommendation too is if you guys spawn close enough to the train early on, you guys can get quite a bit of money from there and definitely some good loot. So it is worth jumping on the train, maybe looting that up if it is still available, and or going to strongholds can also be a great option for gathering money and valuables as well. But you guys will need to gather up 50,000 in order to be able to purchase a personal exfil. Then you guys, once you have the 50,000, will want to make your way over to the buy station. You will purchase that personal exfil, and part 2 will be complete. Now, part 3 is asking us to exfil with your personal exfil with another player in the same deployment. So essentially what you need to do is infill solo without any teammates. Then you're going to need to purchase a personal exfil, which is going to require you to gather up to 50,000, and you will need to exfil with other players. So it means you're going to have to team up with somebody at some point throughout your run. My best recommendation for actually completing this challenge would actually be to infill solo, obviously, because you have to do that part. Make your way over to the closest team. That way, if you get eliminated and if they're not willing to work with you and something bad happens, you guys aren't at much of a loss, and you guys will be able to try to team up with them. Obviously, getting the teaming part out of the way is the most important because it is important to the mission's success. And once you guys are able to find a team or people that you can work with, you guys can then communicate to them about actually gathering the 50,000. Even if they don't really work with you, getting 50,000 shouldn't be that difficult, but getting into the team will be the most important part. Then you guys are going to want to go and complete contracts. Again, hit the safes. You guys need to hit that destroy supplies contract to get the safe locations. Definitely recommend doing that. That way you guys are able to get the 50,000 quicker. Definitely having more teammates is going to make it a little bit easier, especially if they're willing to help you out and work with you. Once you guys are able to get that 50,000 and you guys do have the teammates, then you would make your way over to the buy. You will purchase that exfil for them. Maybe you guys will then ping it if you're not communicating with them. You'll head over, you'll call that exfil in. Even though it is a personal exfil, it just pings a location. You still have to go to the location and actually call the exfil in itself. Once you guys are able to call the exfil in and exfil with a team that you've acquired throughout that match, you guys will then get this mission complete. Now, next up, we have our last and final mission, which is going to be Left High and Dry. This one is 3 parts, and it is definitely a little bit challenging just due to the RNG. Part 1 is asking us to trade for a skeleton key in either Al Mazrah, Ashika Island, or Building 21. Now, in order to do this on Al Mazrah, you will have to get a hold of a GPU. These can be extremely rare in spawns, and they will not really spawn in the crypto farm like they were previously. It's not like an easy GPU location. You guys are just going to have to get lucky, and it might take you a little while to come across the GPU. I know a method a lot of people were using is going over to Ashika Island with a secure backpack, then going going over to the Suki Castle with the weapons locker key. If you guys don't know where this is, basically you just go to the door to the right. Over at the Suki Castle, you guys will then take the right there, go into that back room, and there's basically 3 lockers that you need the key in order to access. You guys can open these lockers, and it's basically a guaranteed GPU. Now, not every time will you find a GPU in here, but it's significantly more common than any of the other places on Al Mazrah, and you guys will be able to use that secure backpack to put the GPU in. You would exfil it and then be able to take it over to Al Mazrah, and then trade it for that skeleton key. So there is a couple options as far as doing that. You guys could also go over to building 21, which allows you to swap 3 encrypted hard drives for a skeleton key, but there is only one buy, and it can be quite challenging to do that. Once you guys get access to the skeleton key, part 1 will be complete. Now part 2 is just asking us to use the skeleton key to unlock the sniper team's hideout in Okhdar Village. So this is why it's going to be important to have the skeleton key over on Al Mazrah anyway, because we'll then need to take this over to the location, which is Okhdar Village, and then you guys are going to want to go basically to the west a little bit of where the showdown map is from Call of Duty 4, or that centralized location where the statue is there. Because we'll go to a little bit to the left there, and there'll be another courtyard similar on the north side of that. Of course, I will show you guys the location of where this is actually at. You guys will see the sniper's hideout. You guys will then need to make your way up to that door. You guys will then be able to open the door. But once you guys are able to actually unlock the door, part 2 will be complete. Now, part 3 is just asking us to extract the dossier found inside. So obviously this is a small room. It's going to have a ton of loot in it. You guys should be able to walk right in. Obviously, if you're the one opening it, there shouldn't be any reason why the dossier wouldn't be there. You guys should find this dossier on the table there. You guys will then want to pick this up. The only thing left for you to do is to extract safely. Once you guys are able to actually exfil safely, that will wrap up this mission and tier 2 of the Redacted faction. That's going to wrap things up for today's mission guide. Thank you guys for all the support in today's video, all the support in the channel, and I look forward to seeing y'all in the next one. Peace.